Hi, this is Sam. Hi, this is Sam Benson, the Upper Richard Research Center. I want to show you how to use the WBT spreadsheet version 4.2.3 to process data from chimney stoves. I've already filled out some information in the spreadsheet to make it work as an example. That also includes some information in the General Information tab, talking about the fuel type. So when you process data with the LEM spreadsheet, you can get the total CO and the total PM, and those are both in grams. In this spreadsheet, it's looking for grams. In the LEM spreadsheet, CO is in grams and PM is in milligrams. So be sure to use the custom entered above selection as opposed to these other two. Now, I had sent a instruction sheet for how to do this, and so it asked to do the step 4 says to do the total emissions first. So we would go to our LEMS processing sheet and find the total emissions for CO. It might be 20. You put in 20 grams, and then the PM might be 0.2 grams. So I'm just choosing some values that are reasonable. You can use your real ones after processing the data using the data processing sheet. So normally we do several tests. So I'm going to copy the data, just as for this example, into the other test sheets. I've already filled out the same important information, custom entered above. So now we can look at the results, and it's showing us the IWA metrics. It has thermal efficiency, low power specific consumption, high power CO, low power CO, high power PM, low power PM. Looks like the values I chose are actually very small, but you'll still see in the example how this works. Right now, since we use total emissions, these values you should have chosen with all of the emissions being sampled by the sensors. These values are correct. These values are not correct, because the indoor emissions are supposed to be if the chimney is bypassing the sensors. So what we can do to trick the software is copy these values and paste them back into the same place, but paste values. So now we've erased the equations, but kept the same values in place. The average is still the same. Now we're going to go back, and we're looking at, so we've copied and now we're on step 9. We're on step 9 from the instructions, which you can see here. Copy the total emissions results from the LEMS processing spreadsheets that were used to process data from the fugitive emissions. So those fugitive emissions are going to be much smaller. We'll say 5 and 0.5. That might be all that reaches into your, that might be all that leaks from the stove body. It's only a quarter of the total. Your fugitive emissions are always going to be much smaller. Unless you have 2 sensor boxes, you're going to have to do 2 separate test series. Now in the results section, these values are the same. Remember the 5.1, you can go back in the video, it's the same. But these values have changed. They've updated. So now all the results are correct. The IWA metrics are correct. You have thermal efficiency, low power specific consumption, the high power and low power metrics based off the total emissions, and you have the indoor emissions based off the fugitive emissions. Please write to me if you have any more questions. Thanks.